Wie lange haben der jetzt gepennt? Geht.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Okay. Der Tür wieder unten.
The door is closed. This door can only be...
Okay. Oh. Was ist los? Was ist das? Moin.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union must have turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information, which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM, and in fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Wie sieht's denn eigentlich hier aus? Geht es nur während wach ist? Warte, ich hab gedacht. Was ist das eigentlich?
Can I help you?
Ich hab nicht genug Geld.
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know.
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. Oh my, what happened to the waterlock? Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A crypt.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. And we hit it off, and
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more.
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological...
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's, hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Well, some teenagers making out in the reed saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course. Most Phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarm.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian Phas... Not at all. Why else would it... Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very... Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Okay. Diesmal ist die Küche schon direkt offen.
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martinez.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
No, I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we...
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez... What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do anything to you.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress. Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence.
Just dock workers? Do dock workers spy on...
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's.
Kann der jetzt irgendwas? Nee. Riecher. 10 Cent, ne? Ja. Okay, speichern wir.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt, like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Schon?
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way. Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
known him? We don't associate with scum like that, ass.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line in my town. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too.
A live grenade, right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNA's goddamn special forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you, clown.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your station.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials.
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
No. I's here. You got business with my boys, you got business with me.
He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy.
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Der hat bisher gar nicht geredet gehabt, ne?
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings.
Too late to stop you. You've already got them all, including the old bearded man who's smart enough to smoke instead of talking. As you can see, he doesn't speak a lot, and you almost missed him among the others. That's enough to take another look at those tracks in the yard. See if they fit this band of miscreants.
Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Okay. Schauen wir mal, ob wir das Ding wieder aufkriegen können. Komm ich da hin? Dafür
An
brauche
inconspicuous
ich
pile of the roofing material.
Wahrnehmung. Ja.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, easy on the eyes, rhythmic pattern.
Warte.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right, the Hardy boys in the mess hall of whirling in rags. 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick, Titus Hardy. The one with the bald cap on his head. Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print. 5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens, and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something? 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy boy.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man?
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy boy. Wonder who he is. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor? Or maybe a drummer? No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? 200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see? I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy. The one with his front teeth missing. I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy boys.
There's 1 pair missing from the Union box. The 8th pair. I'm going to say it was our Old Soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the Old Soul.
Okay, ein unbekannter Achter. Ist hier was Neues?
Fuck, does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
Das hier kann ich glaube machen.
In the morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage cannot but catch your eye. Do something important? Something murder related? This is a Caprice Canema with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Canema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds and go on to even at a standstill. The unibody Someone has waxed it recently.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look? $130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR-18GU engine on the old Caprice 40.
Yeah, you know it? Yes, that's right. I'm very impressed that you know these things. Yes, an extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare it up. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. You want to help? Thank you for the offer. That might be fun.
He liked the idea. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a puller.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell. And
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though. Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. 57.
In the cabin, you see a...
Okay. Das hier. Ist das hier nicht abgeschlossen? Den kann ich doch gar nichts mehr fragen, oder? Oder liegt es auch daran, dass ich hier nicht weiterkomme?
Kuno? You already know that slow shit. Kuno thinks you have brain damage or some
Kuno, stop being nice to...
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno... Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind. Lazy dinks.
He's hiding something.
Pig, if Kuno was hiding something, it would be...
But it is not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the pile of roofing material again.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't fucking... Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it?
Ah, hier.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate. Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
You're testing Kuno.
Get lost,
Kuno doesn't...
Wie komme ich da oben hin?
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all. So, what now? The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay. Let's find all of it.
It's implied he finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Fuck does Kuno care? So? Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello!
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. What is this? Trying to be cool with your new asshole? Kuno was just being nice to you. You got fucked bad. Now limp the fuck out of it. After this shit, you better have something real.
Yeah, real interesting.
Warum ist das?
Kuno doesn't.
Okay, dann schauen wir mal, ob erstmal da hoch. Komm mal da hoch. Hier war nix. Hier ist halt so eine Tür. Wo führt die hin?
to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Okay. Mal kurz was gucken. Gibt es eigentlich wieder was Neues einzusammeln? Tja, sehe ich nichts. Ups. Wo sind die? Was war hier?
The dented yellow mailbox.
Ah.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow.
So, seid ihr?
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot, no. You got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Na gut. Was macht er?
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it. Already, your muscles are adjusting to the weight. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, an embodiment of pure motion. A fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum.
Merde! Bordel de merde!
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters. Probably 24, and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
What the hell is your problem? You vandalized our game, son! We can't play pétanque with 5 bull! Well, it damn well isn't. It's pétanque. You ruined a pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull. Good. Mistakes are forgiven. When men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Yes, why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder. You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, in Martinez, the union is the law. Cop is a pejorative term.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks, don't you, officer? Really, officer. Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top.
Was hat das mit Weisheit zu tun?
Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea. But in real life, primal roles prevail. Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. No. It was left by heavy artillery fire. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes. The military coordinated Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out.
Blood Ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez...
Well, it's your own downfall.
You don't even begin to truly understand.
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Was haben die so geredet?
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisell. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon sight. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Damn Frisell. He was the king we couldn't protect.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting that
a true king in both blood and mind. Let Revachol...
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this.
The suzerain is the king. As if... It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's borders when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth. Ah, yes!
Oh, absolutely.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king.
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the Purple Nose.
You can't even take responsibility. That's why the Philippian kings used...
Of course. Clarity of it.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine.
He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
From what I've seen of the officers of the RCM... But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policy decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being...
Right.
Okay. Das war jetzt ein bisschen verschwendet. Deswegen habe ich es auch nur so etwas überflogen, dass ich dann nicht so viel Zeit. Das bringt mich jetzt hier nicht weiter. Bist du nun mal?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Oh, was ist mit den Schatten hier passiert?
Looking for something?
It's
about biological... Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge, you know. You might want to change... People who've studied this... Open your eyes, haven't... This concerns you, policeman.
Cultural victory? What is this, then?
It's true. Also, you need to... Go right.
Lieutenant Kitsura.
We were promised work. We'd be in.
The physically impressive man tower has turned his attention back to...
No, I'm not a fighter. I'm a worker. What's it to you? Big mess caused by Union greed.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems more brutal.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy... Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time.
Okay. Guck hier oben nochmal. Halt 5.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called hardy boys are an effeminate.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female Find out for yourself. Endomorphic blob.
Interesting.
Unten noch mit den warte mal. Was ist das? Halt auch nicht genau sehen. Ach so, ich glaube. Über die Tür. Mittel. Das kann ich versuchen. Vielleicht, wenn es Mittel ist. Wobei Mittel jetzt auch nicht so super war.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. On his chest,
I'm gone. Into the wild pale yonder. In the past. Way out in the west. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes either. A killer. A motherfucker. Go ahead. Oh, what do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions? Coming right up. Copperoony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, because you have. Love did me in, Brother Corpo. It was love all along. Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? You're a lying sack of shit, Corpo. You're doing this because there is nothing else to do. Everything else is over. It's just me now. Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
Sure I do. You just don't want to admit it. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my Of course. You have come back later.
Okay. Ich fand das jetzt nicht so sinnvoll. Mal hier kann ich noch mal gucken. Nee. Das. Ah. War ja noch was.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? That's the man who was killed.
Hier?
I'm better not tie the fourth day to the backstay on this. I hope more lessons in basic reality. My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. Glad to have been of assistance. I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol. Of course. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can... I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal... Of course. The situation is
Da könnte ich einen Punkt nächstes Mal reinstecken. Was ich noch machen könnte, um vielleicht ein bisschen XP zu bekommen. Hier.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. You don't exact. It takes about half an hour. AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol. You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your... Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill, every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and he must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, he came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko, can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke, which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. Who knows? Those pages are missing. One day you may still catch the man with the squid. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an, yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. They were leaving it out in all these cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. No, you didn't have time for that. The murder, tum-tum-tum, at the hookah parlor, was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph, beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo. Said Mills didn't get off the pot, not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers. It's made of dark blue plastic. With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance or sound, the two panels, 2 ticket stubs, and a handmade postcard. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets, but thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rust. It smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says Tutti Frutti. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in every step I take. It grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the... You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Some kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of you. Sparks fall like snow from the boat. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what?
Detective, is everything all right?
Was passiert?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Is it? The world is gone. You are no longer reacting.
A bitter, caustic sense of loss remains. Even in the darkness, great sorrows slip in the water. Slimy.
The cool when you're dead.
Here in the paleo-mammalian because it's always there.
Tell him.
Ah, yes. In the old factory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so. But as they say, what do you do? It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
Yeah, man. What was that about? There is no Voyager Road. There are bloated corpses of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone...
Yes, they're pouring some...
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with...
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need...
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of...
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past...
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonus.
Okay. Krieg ich nun Empathie. Kann eigentlich rumschleppen. Oh. So, ja. -2. Hey.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Okay. Boah. Ist vielleicht nicht schlecht. Da reinzupumpen. So, mal schauen. Ja.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Wow.
Kuno doesn't.
Sieht nicht gut aus. Ich brauche nochmal das. Das hier kann ich ja nicht wirklich erhöhen, oder? Lernte Fähigkeiten. Ist das, was ich zugewiesen habe? Ich glaube.
Yes, help me.
She doesn't really want... If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
This was a tremendously useful interlude.
Was gibt's eigentlich für Bücher? Wäre jetzt ein bisschen Kohle. Ich weiß halt nicht, wie das dann wird, das Zimmer zu bezahlen. Ich speichere mal lieber.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a lot... This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named These Three Things Are Very... The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, various paranatural books still...
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and...
Several maps have been... The maps look old and faded. Shelves full of biographies of famous people.
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important a very influential. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
The Greatest Innocence by Joao. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. Disappointing.
Ja, ein andermal.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen.
Guck mal, was passiert.
The curtains tattered with age, and just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries,
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite, just please don't...
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear. No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Nothing. Now please...
She speaks oddly enough. You see some kind of charm, and if this is a tradition inhabited, aside from poking at it, you see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Okay.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed-out, dark echo.
Vielleicht habe ich Glück.
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Ich bin drin. Was geht ab?
What is this place?
Ahnung.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
Werkzeuge. Oh, cool. Aber eigentlich brauche ich das nicht, oder?
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating.
Das? Oh, das ist was wert. Ich glaube, die nächste Nacht ist gesichert. Hier brauche ich wahrscheinlich eher die Taschenlampe. Ist hier irgendwas? Geld, nice. Was sind das hier für Sounds? Oh, das hat sich schon gelohnt, hier reinzugehen.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotorblades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit. That's a good question. Not quite. You do know that there's something unusual.
No. Was ist denn das hier?
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. For these lithe, pointy-eared creatures, translucent Welkins, with organs shine. You should adopt one of those Welkins as your persona. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy, entire oceans have been... You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its... A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death." This is a monthly calendar from the year. It looks a bit like an academic calendar. Mini-Me stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger... As time goes on, the numbers in the box...
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the handwriting is only partly... The full text reads...
Dann habe ich mir zusammengekracht. Was ist das?
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and
a radio computer. Just sitting here without any...
What he means is that these things cost money. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static. The static gets louder, slowly filling.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Indian. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produce.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am...
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East. As for me, now, please tell me if there's anything else I can thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework.
Was ist bei Print?
Tiles on the cube are still... Nothing happens.
Okay.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in... The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. History classes, students with their textbooks open. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6. UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Someone very important. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads. Whoever decides to call in to a list of names under the stations. There's no way a little basement...
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines. This old fireplace, the whole thing resembles...
Okay. Oh. Nicht jetzt. Moment. Ja, willst du was sagen?
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in station.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole...
Not to my knowledge. They make a...
Not in Revachol West.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
Okay. Kriech's Passwort raus.
Your flashlight slides over and some of the writing has faded with age. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans. Call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and Heat death of the universe. The full text reads... Tiles on the cube are still... The speaker comes...
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Good. Please repeat the password. No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Still no. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident without filing...
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Receive...
Don't worry.
For stress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are...
Hier ging es ja auch noch weiter, ne?
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. Folded. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Was? noch mehr Geld. Kühlschrank.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been... You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. From the paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy.
So. Was haben wir hier?
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of...
Does it say anything interesting?
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer. Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for... I don't know. I assume...
The note is written with a blue pencil.
Ah, man kommt rein, okay.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Warte mal. Ey, wie groß ist denn das hier? Was ist das?
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge and the black one to the ice cream maker.
Warum soll ich die ziehen?
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Color.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire.
It's dark and grimy here. The echo is so prominent.
What are you doing? Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the...
What?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping.
Was macht denn das? Okay. Das ist eh gerade ein bisschen arg niedrig.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the...
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs, rummaging around. You find...
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but...
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still, beautiful thing. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come...
He likes this find.
Ja. Ach, guck.
Yes? Yes?
Mhm. Haben wir hier nochmal.
Your flashlight, some of the writing, these light translucent. You should adopt one of those one of the Welkins, towering among its the hull.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing this little Welkin. Just look at those details.
The photo, entire, you see, albeit dark and a pinned postcard reads, "This is, it looks, mini-me stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a best time."
Looks like they didn't.
A note in the bottom left corner of the handwriting is only partly legible. The full text.
Hier ist nichts mit Passwort.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments. The speaker.
Good after. Please repeat. Good. Please proceed.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Nothing happens. Something's missing. This old fireplace, the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic.
Kein Passwort. Hier, also.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor.
Ah. Okay.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop. I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's just a door. This place is cursed, Detective. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you...
Host Almighty, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the door.
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the...
Her facade has dropped. Now you see...
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? Yes, the malignant entity that lives inside the chimney. It takes the shape of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she knows more about the curse than she lets on ever since I first saw her. Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do.
Okay, but please, only a few... The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later... There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence. As if it's not good to talk about the curse, not in...
Wow. Void raves. You have...
Yes, I've contacted numerous. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies... Oh, this! No, it's a special... There are numerous spells cast...
Desert pygmy shamans. Doesn't seem like the spell is working. There are no customers around except you.
Sir, I am well educated in the commercial and esoteric arts. I know what to do and what to avoid. Discount my wares? I can see, sir. Besides, this would only tempt the phantoms of doom. They can sense... Yes, the Simonees are very...
The woman before you scans the store.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as Mayonette. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, sure.
The woman before you scans.
Okay. Jetzt kann ich da wieder rein. Ich kann ja auch ohne Taschenlampe, oder? Okay, wow, geht nicht. Was ist los?
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Mal, mach mal so. Weiß nicht, ob ich mit der Tüte hier noch irgendwas mehr einsammeln kann. Warte. Falsche Taste gedrückt. Okay. Glaube nicht. Ach. Der Mist. Das kann ich nicht verkaufen. Ach, zum Ofen.
Two cables are plugged in an electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft electric current.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented. The beer's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge slowly melting. The power has been cut off. A friendly cartoon bear. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. A friendly cartoon. The paper still...
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. At least it's...
The fridge sits... A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths.
Hello? Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
Bent metal. Broken glass. You are the destroyer. The bane of inanimate matter. Look, there's a discarded milk carton on the floor. Why don't you destroy that, too? You're right. That's definitely not the behavior of a destroyer at all. That's just severe anger management problems and a
Geh weg. So.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of dye are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need.
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
How strange. Well, if you're interested, my rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did I become one? It was a business. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some not especially. I like working.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
Nothing really. I did.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look.
This person values focus above all. She keeps her sharp sight on the instruments before her.
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting alone.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a
Creative.
When she arrived here, There was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
Nope.
Exactly. Truth is always so, but I'm glad we got this sorted out.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
More or less.
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailors? I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth
It's not really full of that. No one would...
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. Yes, I think it was called androgynous.
A bit of experiment. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
Me neither. I just wanted off my face. Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was...
What's the snuff, Milia?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Yeah, don't. You mean Mr. Fabron? Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came. Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collect, and you know how woke and, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in Kyton from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. At least it had some spark to it. Most young
As she shifts around, you notice several dead...
Anything else? They were made by a company called Slipstream. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula, or Tiumotiri, or Hashtkor, or wherever he is. The usual, I imagine. That he's...
Men like that are a curse.
Sure. But Slipstream, I have no idea.
They were just the props. Why, maybe you could make a sword out of one.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about...
That's understandable. Fantasies are sick.
They certainly took their work very seriously. The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the... Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were...
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began... In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time. Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
The result is 1 on a 20...
Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by 2 guys who had some rather
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking... And by man the booth, I mean...
Fritter does the same thing.
Employing Soki teenage girls, and they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by... Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. You did what? Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Understandable. You shouldn't do them. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice.
Little sparkling.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here. Oh, right. I hope you didn't. I think none of those.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce.
If the Whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this...
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. My advice, don't base you...
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for a year. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the book Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company once.
It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional... Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
A prank is more likely, no? Oh, the kids these days. Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it's still... Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Ah, yes. Fortress accident. It's too... The Wiro untethered die is a...
Ice. Death. Loss.
I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice. It's an icositetrahedron.
Loving it. So nifty.
Untreated bone is porous and prone to chipping. Cast it in something hard. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? No need to rush.
Okay. Irgendwas neu gekommen? Nee.
Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word. They didn't identify themselves in it. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police, that's right. Good.
Hello. Okay. Ich glaube, ich bin hier. Ah, ne, warte, ich kann ja, kann ich mit der reden nochmal?
What have you found? And also, do buy a novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? I don't understand. If it's not her...
The narrative she's built herself. She's squeezing on the pendant. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Too many inconsistencies. What kind of talk is...
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
Yes, because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the... I see that you've fallen for her manipulation. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between... There was never any other...
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Jo. Oh, jetzt gucken wir mal.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Wann war denn das? Dass ich hier +1 hab.
Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Be still, my beating heart. The lieutenant isn't studying. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade. See that ladder there? It's
So, was ist das? Ah.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on it.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot, but I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here. I was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. Or it could be that we are just exploring. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind.
Dann warte mal, Gewandtheit. Vielleicht nicht schlecht. Was passiert denn, wenn das verkackt? Dann wird
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses. Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are... As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since...
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.